In this video, I'll provide an overview of Part 6, the self-reflection assignment of our research project. So here we are on our home page. So when we click into the weekly modules, we'll go ahead and scroll down to this week's module. So you can see this week we are doing our peer review and feedback through the discussion board. And then next week, in week 16, we have the self-reflection assignment. So right now you're watching the overview of the self-reflection assignment, so this video right here. So we'll go ahead and look at the Part 6 self-reflection instructions, and then I have also included a link to the Appendix B here as well. So clicking on our Part 6. So what's due on May 20th at 11 p.m. is using the feedback you got from your peers as well as from me in the discussion board and your experience of the research project. You're going to write a 1 to 2 page single-space self-reflection. And the components that must be in the self-reflection is Part A, any corrections or changes you would make if you had to present again. So this is where you will highlight and point out any of the feedback you received and say what changes you might make to your hypothesis, if you have some calculation errors, or perhaps the way you displayed your data, maybe labeling of charts or colors, as well as how you explained or interpreted the data. The second part of the paper is the student learning outcomes. So you have to explain how you achieved student learning outcome 1. And so student learning outcome 1 states, after successful completion of the course, students will be able to summarize and analyze statistical data to solve practical business-related problems. So you should be able to explain, especially after this project, how you learned how to summarize and analyze data for a business purpose. For the other part of Part B, you get to pick one more student learning outcome to address, either SLO number 2 or SLO number 3. For student learning outcome 2, it states after successful completion of the course, students will be able to interpret the relevance of statistical findings for business problem solving and decision making. In other words, we've learned how to use statistics to make decisions, and you'll want to explain how you use data to help make decisions as it relates to your Airbnb project and the business purpose that you identified. For SLO number 3, this states after successful completion of the course, students will be able to apply technology to statistical analysis and problem solving. So here you'll talk about how you may have used Excel, and in particular, the data analysis tool pack to run your analyses. So in theory, we should have learned all 3 student learning outcomes, but you only have to write about 2. And then in Part C, you will describe how you can apply your learning in the future in a business setting. So in other words, this is a reminder to yourself that you've learned a lot in this course and that you can use it at work in the future or even today at a current job. Down below, you can also find the rubric, and so each piece just matches the instructions above, right? So here are the improvements to your research project based on the feedback at the different ratings. The student learning outcome number 1, the other student learning outcome of your choice, the future application, and then also spelling and grammar. And each piece is worth 5 points. So make sure to address each of the components of the reflection and take a look at the rubric so you can see what the expectations are at excellent, good, or poor. And then of course, if you're missing something, you don't receive any points for it. Note that I have gone ahead and opened up the Exam 3 final study guide as well. While in week 16, the only assignment is the self-reflection, you should also be studying for your final exam. And we have a live study session as well during this week. So if you have any questions, just let me know.